Hi everybody, we've just had the news that Battlefield 2042 has been delayed. Its original release date was going to be the 22nd of October, a month and a week's time from now, but DICE and EA have just put out a tweet saying that it's been delayed to November the 19th, so about 3.5 weeks later. So what does this mean? Well, let's read the statement. So it says, we've made the decision to shift the launch of Battlefield 2042. The game will now be released worldwide on November the 19th, 2021. Building the next generation of Battlefield during a global pandemic has created unforeseen challenges for our development teams. Given the scale and scope of the game, we had hoped our teams would be back in our studios together as we move towards launch. With the ongoing conditions not allowing that to happen safely, and with all the hard work the teams are doing from home, we feel it's important to take the extra time to deliver on the vision of Battlefield 2042 for our players. Your enthusiasm for the game has been very inspiring. We believe in the game we're making, and we thank you for your patience as we put some finishing touches into the experience. Updates on the open beta will be coming later this month. Oscar Gabrielson and the Battlefield 2042 development team. So, it is always better to release a game later than release a game earlier that is bad, because we can always forgive a game being late, but we very rarely forgive a game that's released bad. So remember that. So if they need more time, then they should take more time. A little bit nervous though, because of the fact that Battlefield 5, had a troubled release. If you go back to Battlefield 4 had a troubled release. Battlefield 1 was pretty smooth, to be honest. that was pretty good. And the impression you get from what happened with Battlefield 5 is that probably most of the developers from DICE who are involved in Battlefield 3, 4, and 1 have gone. They've moved on. The bosses at the top had moved on to bigger and better things at EA, and it was a different team making the game. So a little bit nervous about that. A little bit nervous as well about the fact that they haven't said anything about the beta. Now the beta was promised in September. And normally a beta is a slightly earlier version of the game. So, for example, this weekend, starting tomorrow, actually, if you've pre-ordered on Xbox, and on Saturday, I think, if you've got it on PlayStation with the new Call of Duty Vanguard, that beta won't be the release version of the game. It's a slightly earlier build that was probably finalised like a month ago. So a bit nervous that at this on halfway through September we still haven't got a date for the beta. And traditionally as well, the Battlefield betas go on for quite a while. They normally run for about a week. They're really cool things normally, and they're open to everybody. So a little bit nervous about that. And we all remember as well, Firestorm didn't come out with Battlefield 5. It came out like 2 or 3 months later. So I'd rather they delayed Battlefield 2042 because I want a good Battlefield this year. The footage I've seen already, because there's been loads of leaked footage from the betas, looked pretty good to me. Looked alright. Looked very much like a modern version of Battlefield 4, which is cool. So that's good. Now, there is someone who can really take advantage of this, and this is what I encourage you to try out. If you're waiting for Battlefield 2042 on your own console, Xbox Series S, Series X, or PlayStation 5, Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Loose comes out on October the 15th, about just over 2 weeks away. And I'll put a link to some Hell Let Loose gameplay footage. Now, Hell Let Loose is a World War II first-person shooter. It's much more tactical and strategic than Battlefield, but it makes you feel like you're in a war film. It's difficult to see enemies, trust me on this, like Battlefield 5 was, but it is an experience. Now, it takes a lot to learn it. There's a really good beginner's guidebook that someone's done for it, and I might even put a link to that in the description so you can look at the instructions. But it's all about teamwork, it's about working in squads, it's about using voice comms, it's about having a balanced squad of assault players, support players, an officer, all that sort of stuff. It's fascinating, and best of all, you can see here it's $39.99 US. It's £30 UK to buy. So it's a budget title, It's 50 versus 50 on massive maps that are lovingly recreations of places like Normandy, Karaten, there, and there's the Eastern Front as well. And trust me, when you watch the gameplay footage, it'll be PS5, because the PS5 guys, luckily enough, are playing their beta right now, their free open beta. When it comes, if you're a fan of Battlefield on console, I think you have to buy Hell Let Loose. Now, it will be a really steep learning curve, because you'll think it's a running simulator. You'll be running along and you'll be dying. You'll be running along and dying, but it will eventually start to click, and I think this is Hell Let Loose's chance. It's a small team of developers who brought this game out. Came out of a Kickstarter, I think, a couple of years ago, but they've done a great job bringing a kind of a semi-authentic World War II almost simulator that looks amazing. So if you had, in terms of first-person shooters, in terms of how arcadey they were, you'd have Call of Duty is really arcadey, isn't it? And then you'd have something like Battlefield next. Then you would have, at the far end, you'd probably have something like Arma 3 or Squad, those sorts of things. And then just in from them, sort of between Battlefield and Arma 3, you would have Hell Let Loose. So that's its opportunity. So I'll put a link to a video by the Tactical Brit, a really great YouTuber, where he's running around playing. He plays a lot of Hell Let Loose on PC, to give you an idea. And as I say, put October the 5th in your diary. It's easy to remember. Call of Duty comes out on November the 5th. Hell Let Loose comes out on October the 5th. And for the price, half the price of what Battlefield 2042 is, it's worth trying out Hell Let Loose, honestly. And we've all got to get behind Hell Let Loose, because we want full big lobbies with a wide spectrum of different skill bases. So there we go. Although Battlefield 2042 has been delayed, very disappointing. Fingers crossed this is going to allow them to make an excellent Battlefield 2042. This really is a chance for Hell Let Loose. Anyway, what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and I will of course see you again soon.